Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Brooklyn Kaye. Today we are going to be creating these lovely fox cat eyes. For this look I used the NARS Afterglow palette, which is just absolutely stunning. So if you would like to see how this look is created, please keep watching. Make sure to subscribe and like this video as well. And let's get into the video. Hey guys, okay, let's get started in today's natural foxy cat eye tutorial. I'm so excited to do this. I have attempted this a few times and I've been practicing this look just to make sure I have it down for the tutorial. And I'm going to show you what has worked for me. So for me, I have hooded eyes, so that means it kind of droops over the top of the lid. Hence why I shaved the outer half of my eyebrows, just so they're higher up and I have more lid space before they just went straight down and it cut it off. So that's why they are shaved on the outer half. Okay, so let's get into this tutorial. First, I'm going to prep with the Bobbi Brown Vanilla Shadow Stick and just swiping that all over my lids. This is a great shadow stick. I love Bobbi Brown's products. Especially the cream shadow sticks. I worked for them for a few years and I love the company and just love their products. So with the shadow sticks, you can use them like this as a base. They have shimmery ones, they have more matte ones. Laura Mercier has a few as well, and I love hers too. I just have more Bobbi Brown ones in my vanity, so that's what I'm using today. So just prepping both eyes with that base, and you don't have to set this down. I like that it's a stick because it's just super easy to use, and these blend out so nicely, so I really like those. And we're going to do eyes before we do anything else on our face. So the palette I'm going to use today is the NARS Afterglow palette. I mean, come on, how cool is this packaging? It's like fiery satin. I love it. And this is what the palette looks like on the inside. Nice warm browns. I feel like the neutrals are going to be perfect for this look. And this palette is fairly new. I believe it came out in the spring time, so it's gorgeous, and that's what we're going to be using today. Alright, so I was watching Jaclyn Hill's tutorial on this, and she started off with a bronzer in the crease, which I think helps immensely. So I'm using the No7 Caramel bronzer. I love this bronzer. It's one of my favorite drugstore ones. And so for this look, just focus it on the outer half. And since my brows are shaved, I'm gonna bring it up a little bit more past that. And I will be filling in my brows, of course, after this. But you don't want really any darkness in this inner part here because we're trying to create lift. So if you put it down here, it's going to drag that part of the eye down. And then just kind of flicking it up just to help lift it. And this also just creates a nice base for everything to blend. You already know that this bronzer looks good on your skin, so you know it's going to blend in with that eyeshadow nice and well. For the next color that we're going to use, I'm going to take Shadow Hill, and it's this nice caramely kind of reddy brown. It's really pretty. And I'm taking this on an M433 brush from Morphe and just focusing that on that outer corner and flicking up slightly. And a good rule of thumb for this is if you take your brush and just take where this follows up, like just the bottom of the eye, seeing where that curves up to, that's where you want to focus the shadow, just all above there. You don't want it to droop down, otherwise you're going to get more of a droopy eyeshadow look. And then kind of just taking that higher again with that shape that we like. It's getting a little dark, so let me go back in with that first brush and blend it away. But you can see already this is starting to look a lot more lifted than this eye. And then I'm going to do it to the other side as well. Now I'm going to take a smaller brush. This is a JH40. It's like a nice tapered pencil brush, and I'm going to take the darkest shade in this palette in the corner, which is called Whipped, and I am going to focus that more on that outer corner and kind of up into like a winged shape, which this brush does a great job of just doing that for you because of that pointed tip on the end. And then just make sure you blend it. You don't want there to be like a harsh line of where it was. Now that we kind of have that shape down, I'm just going to keep going back and forth with those colors. And just make sure everything is focused basically on the outer half. So you don't really want any color past your iris. That will kind of help give you a guide. So I'm just taking the first brush and blending it out. And if you get any underneath here, don't freak out. We're gonna go in with foundation and concealer later and we'll be able to kind of carve out that part of the eye. Okay, and now this part is totally optional. I've just found that it really helps with the effect of the Foxy Eye look, and that is liner. There's a few looks that I've seen where they just completely didn't use it, just kind of did the little inner corner, like little line there. I didn't love how that looked on me. I feel like my eyes looked rounder with that for some reason. So I'm going to be doing a wing. And the liner I'm using is the Bobbi Brown Black Ink Gel Eyeliner. And the brush I'm using is the Crown 1700 brush, and it's just nice and small. And the way I like to start my liner out, everybody has their own way of doing it and way that they like to do it. I take a big chunk on my brush, kind of brush it into the lid, just so I don't have too much product on my brush, but I'm working it into the brush. And then I like to start just on the outer half there. Okay, so I'm back and I have the first wing done, so you can see I'm focusing it more out, just mostly outwards rather than just up. And then I'm going to do that to the other eye. So doing my, I don't want to be out of frame, outer edge first. And then just taking it out, and I'm just focusing kind of where that inner rim starts to lead up. That is, I'm extending it as if it was going out. I'm going in the tight line with the gel in my tight line. And that creates the illusion that I've gone all the way in with the liner, but I did not. And then slightly bringing it in, but just going on the thinnest part of the brush to do that. So make it really thin in the inner corners and then thicken it out once you get to the outer corner and towards the wing. And the key with gel liner is to load it up. If it doesn't have enough on there, it's just going to kind of skip and skid over the eye. Now that that is done, we're gonna do some mascara. Okay, so the mascara I'm using, as always, is the Voluminous Lash Paradise. And I'm kind of focusing on the inner rim because I will be applying false lashes. If you are not applying false lashes, just focus on the outer rim and you will continue to get that fox-like look. But from what I've seen and whenever I've done this look, the lashes just add the most, that extra touch. And for lashes, I'm going to be using the Ardell Faux Mink lashes. I lost the package, so I don't know what number these are. But what I did is I cut them, so I'm using the inner half of the lashes on my outer half. And what this does is it's going to help lift it that extra amount and just elongate the eye. So just taking my lash glue, and then I'm just putting that on the outer half, and then just lifting it up in the corners slightly just to get more of that foxy cat eye effect. So make sure it touches the lashes on the inner part and then just lift it slightly. That's where that liner comes in handy, because whenever I haven't had the liner and lifted it up, you can tell. So you don't necessarily have to do a wing, but I feel like it just helps with the shape and helps to make sure that it looks lifted. Okay, so I'm back with both of the outer halves on my eye, and you can see that my eyes are much more just open. It just helps give that extra oomph bringing them outward. So the next thing I'm gonna add is just to make sure everything's nice and bright in this area, I'm going back in with just my base. You can just take any light powder or light shadow. You don't want it to be shimmery. We're just gonna keep it matte. And I'm just making sure that that is all bright and nice in that area. And to brighten it up even more, I'm going to use this nice light shade called First Taste by NARS in that palette. And it's just a shimmer shade, but we're just placing that on the inner corner. I just love how this brings out my eyes in any eyeshadow look. It's really hard for me to do any look without doing it because I feel like it truly does make such a difference. Let's move on to foundation, concealer, and the rest of the face. Okay, so before I did this entire look, I prepped my skin with the moisturizer called Egyptian Magic. It's like a nice oily consistency. It's amazing for dry skin. I personally am combo, so when I'm a little bit drier, I like to use that moisturizer. And when I'm oily, I like to use more of a gel moisturizer. For foundation, I'm using NARS Sheer Glow. Love this one. Talked about it before on my channel. And I'm just putting this on. Now, one cool fact about this foundation is it's called Sheer Glow, which originally kept me away from this foundation because I was like, I have so many of those, like, I don't need another foundation slash tinted moisturizer that does the same thing as the rest of them. But what it actually means is just sheer amount of glow. So sheer glow, kind of funny. So it actually has really good coverage. You can build it up really nicely. And it's just beautiful. And now I'm going to be going in with the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. This is the 16-hour one and it is the matte version. I have the hydrating one as well, and I had that one first before this one, but I can already tell you I like this one much better than the other one. The other one, I feel like although it is dewy, it's kind of hard to blend and tends to patch up a little bit. This one doesn't. So I'm just blending that out. So notice that I didn't place the concealer here where the eyeshadow is, but I am blending it towards that. If I placed it right there, it would be a little too much product and could mess up the shadow. So, but I am blending it towards there just to create that extra lift with my face. Because as you can see here, it's not applied in that area, but you can see that this is much more lifted. And this one does dry quickly as well, which is why I like to just apply it in a few places at once rather than doing the entire whole shebang with it. And then for bronzer, I don't feel like wearing powder today. I kind of like that this just has that little bit of glow. The Egyptian Magic also helps with that. I'm going to go in with the caramel bronzer that we used for eyeshadow, and it is number 7 in the shade Caramel, which I just said, but just in case you forgot. Okay, and then just taking that, we're just bronzing. I'm not really going to focus on contouring for this look just because it's everyday. We want it to be nice and easy. I know winged liner and lashes aren't really like everyday essentials, but for those that do wear that every day, this is just kind of like a nice version of the Foxy Eye trend for you. So just bronzing, you can see that helps bring the look together. And then next I'm going to be doing my brows, and I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Pomade in Caramel. I finally got the right shade in this and I am loving it. So I'm gonna do my brows and then I will be back to do the rest of the face. Okay, so I am now back with my brows on, and I am going to be moving into the lower lash line, which I'm just going to take the bronzer from before that we've been using this whole time, and I'm just putting it underneath on the whole thing. If you just put it on the outer edge, it's going to give it more of a rounded shape. So just to continue with that Fox Eye look, we're going all the way in. And I'm just taking whatever's left on my concealer brush just to make sure I didn't put on too much because it was looking a little bit dark, but I still wanted something there so that the eye wasn't lost. Okay, and now for blush, I'm going to be taking Ginger from Laura Mercier. It's like this nice, very nude blush, but it's gorgeous. And I'm taking it on a JH04 and just focusing that on the outer edge rather than right on the apple of the cheek, just to kind of create more of a lifted effect. And then I'm going on the lower part of the apple of the cheek just to help kind of cup and lift. Okay, for highlighter, I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier Peach Mosaic highlighter. Now, this doesn't really look like anything special. It looks like stuff we've seen before, kind of stuff from the drugstore, but wait till you see this. And I'm just gonna swirl it all around in all the colors and just take that on that outer edge. And this stuff is blinding. It's kind of hard to see with that bright of a light on me, but it really is. And they also have this in other colors. They have it in gold and pink, but the peach is just my favorite, especially with my skin tone. Okay, for lip liner, I'm going in with the YSL lip liner in 20 Brown Sahara, and just lining. I love that this liner is a roll-up liner rather than a sharpen because I hate having to sharpen pencils. And this one's small enough that it stays like at a good size, because I don't love when they're too sharp because it's easy to go out of the lines when that happens. For the gloss, I'm going to use the NYX Intense Butter Gloss in Cookie Butter. And it's a very nude shade, like almost like a gray nude. And these are pigmented. So I'm just rubbing it around. But I love how the colors look together. I don't love that gloss on its own because of how nude it is, but I think it's very pretty when mixed with liners. Okay, and then just to set everything down, I'm taking the Laura Mercier Candle Glow and just taking this. I love this product because it gives like a nice amount of glow. So it definitely tones down the shine, but it doesn't take it away completely. And that is the final look of our Foxy cat eyes, and I hope you all enjoyed, and if you guys recreate this, please tag me and let me know. But thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.